FreeMMOStation.com.
Hey guys, welcome to FreeMMOStation. I'm Scarlet Shore, and today we're going to be taking a look at Guild Wars 2, which, as you guys might have realized, went free to play. Yes, absolutely a huge event there at PAX. They announced that Guild Wars 2 is going free to play. But how free to play is the game? What is accessible to free to play users? And how is the experience overall for Guild Wars 2? This first impression is going to be something more similar to like a live first impression. Now, me personally, I play this game a lot. As you can see, I've got a Revenant here. And for instance, this is a class that you cannot access. In fact, normal players can't access this class. You have to have the expansion to get this class. So don't feel so left out of the dark, free-to-play users. This is just something that you have to buy the expansion for. And same thing with pretty much all the expansion content, you actually have to buy the expansion. So, yeah, there's that. I do have my main, which is level 80 Warrior, and I also have a max level Mesmer here, which is pretty sweet. I think Mesmer is probably the hardest, most difficult class to play, so if you're new to the game, maybe stay away from Mesmer. But what we are going to do is we're actually going to make a new character. I'm going to show you the character customization, I'm going to show you the early level experience, I'm going to give you my gameplay commentary here, talking about the game as a whole. So we can actually make a new character here. And now, as a free-to-play user, for instance, you actually are able to, I believe, make only 3 characters. You don't have a full 5 slots or more slots. So yeah, if you buy the expansion, you get more slots. As you can see, I have more slots. Now you get to choose from a couple of different races. Free to play, you have access to all the classes other than the newest, and you also have all the, well, races here. So the races, they actually are really impactful for your gameplay. Your early game, yes, but it's also your story and your voice, and just like, it's really important. So it's a big decision, and the character for this game is pretty good. Character creator. So what we're gonna do is we're probably going to pick Norn, I think, or maybe Sylvari. Sylvari is probably the single most unique race in this game, and the expansion is really focusing on them. So let's go do the Sylvari. As you can see, everything is very painted, and you're going to see this sort of through the whole game. Like, the whole game feels like it's just one giant collection of art, and it's really freaking awesome. Okay, so you get a little lore here. The Sylvari essentially are a new race. They were born from a tree, which was planted not too long ago, and so they're an entirely new race. And one thing that ties them together is that as they are being born, while they are inside the tree, they have a dream. And they dream together, and there's this nightmare, which is sort of like a dark prediction. And they're trying to face the nightmare. And some of them get corrupted by it, which is kind of the point of the expansion, because there is a dragon, and dragons can corrupt all races. Okay, so you've got a couple of different classes here. This Revenant is only unlockable with the expansion. So we have Engineers, Mesmers, Elementalists, Thieves, Guardians, Warriors, Rangers, and Necromancers. Now, Necromancers are kind of like your summonables. You can like have a bunch of summonables, and also you're kind of like a tank mage. You know, that's actually kind of a misnomer, because Elementalists can also tank very well. Mesmers, they can't tank, but they can dodge, and they can be very sneaky and tricky. But Necromancers are inherently very tanky, Elementalists have the potential to be very tanky, and Mesmers are more dodgy. Okay, so Warriors are, well, they're very well-rounded. I think Warrior is probably the easiest class to play, probably. I really do like Warrior. I think there's a really high skill cap for him. He's got a lot of very controlled mobility abilities. Guardians are kind of like the Warrior, but more on the spell side of things. They're more Paladin-ish. They are very defensive and such with their abilities, lots of CC and lots of CC resistance. Warrior's not too different. They're kind of similar, but Warrior's more like aggressive, more physical, and mobile. Guardian does have some mobility, you know, like 1 or 2 spells, but for the most part, he's a little less mobile, a little bit more defensive, a little bit more obviously tanky. But you could be tanky with the Warrior, you could be tanky with the Guardian, you could be tanky with Necromancer and Elementalist. That's one thing about this game, is that there's not really a holy trinity. In fact, you don't see like a priest class, you don't see a dedicated healer class. And while maybe with the Elementalist and a little bit with the Warrior and Guardian, you can do some healing, for the most part, there's just no straight up dedicating healer. Okay, so for this, let's see, I'm probably going to do the class that I think is the most interesting, and that's the Mesmer. I think it is overall the most unique class, and in fact, on my blog, I did the most unique combat classes in MMOs, and Mesmer is, like, you know, the #1. It's the most unique class ever. So you get a little bit of lore about the Mesmers, sort of like kind of an idea of how they play. As you can see, we have some sort of unique armors and stuff for these different characters. We have 3 heavy armors, 3 medium armors, which is leather, and then 3 cloths. However, you can actually transmogrify, and you can actually get some skins so that they can look a little bit heavier. So let's make a little tall dude. We can hide the armor, we can change the lighting. And what's really interesting about Sylvari is that they actually glow in the dark a little bit, depending on some settings that you have. So that's pretty interesting. Let's see, we're gonna physique, we can choose a couple of different physiques. I'm guessing a little bit more muscular would be nice. I'm a little bit more bigger, more muscular. And let's see. Now, there's no way I'm going to make the Savari look like me because it's a fucking plant, but, you know, we're going to do our best. So let's go with a little gray tint and head options. So as you can see, we have a bunch of presets. Not too many sliders, but there are sliders. We can actually go to a slider area. Let's see. This hair is probably the most similar that I could think of. I know they just added some hairstyles, and there are extra hairstyles, but you have to purchase them in-game. Kind of wish they previewed them like they did in Vindictus. Anyways, this looks pretty freaking interesting. This guy's face is really scary to me. Anyway, so here's the different faces that we can choose from. And you hear the music playing in the background? It's really awesome. Really freaking fantastic. I actually like this face. This face is pretty interesting to me. And we could choose the different skin colors. We could be bright or dark. Let's see, we'll probably go for... Ooh, we got some, like, avatar-looking skin colors. Got some bright orange. I want to go for a more plain, more like a oaky kind of look. Or birch, sorry, birch look. Get some different ears. We'll probably just go with this ear. And we can actually choose different hair colors. I probably want to go blonde. Like, as blonde as it possibly can get. Yeah, I guess that's fine. And then, of course, we got our details. So you got some sliders here, which you can change around some things. Nothing too extreme. Iris sizes. I want to get small irises. Show off that color. So yeah, I got a couple of different things here. We got some armor dyes. This is actually further expanded upon in the game. You can actually unlock lots of different armor dyes. So this isn't all there is. Like, there's gold. There's even, like, combo gradient colors. Like, it'll be gold to, like, sort of like a red-orange. So there's stuff like that. But we are just going to go with, like, a very usual... Let's just go with, like, something like this. Yeah, this looks pretty interesting here. Where's that green at? There's some green here. Let's go with a salmon, probably. Like a reddish. I don't know. He's a mesmer, so we gotta go purple, right? That's fine enough for me. Okay, anyways. So we can also change this light. There's actually this light here. Let's see. Skin pattern and the pattern color. And we can actually choose the, the light. So if we turn off the lights here. Yeah, see, you can see the colors. So we have different pattern colors. We can have the glow color, which we probably would want. What do we want? We're a mesmer, so let's have the glow purple. You know, just kind of match what we're going with here. See? Look at, isn't that fantastic? I think it's fantastic looking. Pretty remarkable to me. Anyways, so this is just our random character that we made, and we're just going to go through the character customization here real quick like. So this is pretty interesting. Did I click Necromancer? When did I click Necromancer? What? Mesmer. Anyways, so you saw the character customization. Now we're into the mesmer. So as you saw, yeah, the Necromancer had a different story thing here. This is because, okay, look, a mesmer's mask creates an image I choose to look out from behind. This choose like your starter look item. You can also hide this, but we're going to choose this. Trouble may follow me, but as I use my ferocity, dignity, and charm, this kind of determines some of, like, how your character acts a little bit, determines some early game choices. And this affects your story, because you do have open world questing, but in this game you also have single player questing. And I dreamed of a quest that calls me to action. It was a vision of, let's go with the Green Knight. And this is going to affect your story. And then all things have a right to grow. Where life goes, too should you. Act with wisdom, but act. And let's go with this one. The pale tree awakened me during the... And they're very vague. Like, these different things are very vague. You just kind of got to do your best guess, and it affects your story. So there is some replay factor to this game. Not just with choosing different races, but also different classes. So let's do Cycle of the Dawn. Signed, FreeMMOStation. Because we're doing this for FreeMMOStation. You do have a first and last name. And fantastic enough, we get an intro.
25 years ago, my people first appeared in Tyria. The pale tree flowered, and the firstborn awakened. The dream contains my race's memories. We gain awareness here, and then awaken into the world. The dream fills me with knowledge, and is my connection to others. It is my inspiration, my guiding light. While here, I have discovered my purpose, to face evil and destroy it. Even now, I sense my destiny calling me to awaken. My time is soon. Nature and goodness are under siege. All life hangs in the balance. If Tyria is to survive, it will need us. If we fail, the dream will be consumed by nightmare, and Tyria will wither and die. I dream of battle, The voices of my people whisper of warfare in the storm of combat. I see a knight in armor, fierce with challenge. He offers me the gift of courage. The dream hints at my future. I see friendly faces, good and noble folk. They need me. I must keep them safe. A devouring force threatens all of Tyria. I will stand against that danger. On this, the eve of my awakening, I feel fire in my blood. And yet I sense darkness approaching. Something intrudes upon the trail. It blocks the path to my awakening. Before I can enter the world, I must first face this evil and vanquish it. I am summoned by the dream. This is my story.
Yeah, we get some really awesome cutscenes. Not just like the artistic stuff like that, but there's also some very cool in-game cutscenes too, especially with the dungeon story mode and your personal story mode. There's actually going to be a point where you might even cry. I think most people actually feel a very emotional impact whenever they go through this part of the game, so no spoilers though. So currently our character is in the Dream. Now, every race has their own very, very unique starting areas, but also this very unique starting leveling experience. So we are here in the Dream. I think our character looks kind of silly with the mask, but we're just going to keep it, whatever. We can change it in the options and everything below. And as you can see, we actually don't have any abilities unlocked. We unlock them very quickly, and we don't have any of these abilities either. These are weapon abilities, these are utility abilities. We'll get more into that as we progress, but let's just go through this tutorial section here, which is pretty cinematic. It's pretty fun. Let's go do this. And this is how dialogue is done.
Dreamer, I am Keith. I need your help. Can you hear me where you are within the dream?
Within the dream? What does that mean? Why do you look transparent?
I am in Tyria, a land far away. Soon you'll awaken here, but for now you live in the dream. I can't explain right now. We must hurry. Something is poisoning the dream.
Poisoning the dream? Of course I will do whatever I can to help you. But why me?
Your spirit is strong. Do not underestimate yourself. Head to the far embankment, and I'll meet you there.
Okay, so as you can see, there is voice acting in this game. A good bit of it is voice acted. Absolutely. It's not full voice acting like ESO, but a huge amount. Okay, so we have our number 1 attack, which is something like our auto attack. But as you can see, it's actually a skill shot base. It is a tab targeted game, but almost everything is a skill shot. Whoa, I kind of fell through here. That was weird. They destroyed the bridge. And a lot of attacks have, see, cleaving right here. So it's not like your normal World of Warcraft combat. In fact, I would say it's more action combat than Terra. But no Dragon Nest, of course. Here we go. The yellow bars above our health are dodge counters. You can dodge, you get invulnerability for that. Makes combat really fun. You're going to need to dodge too. Dodging basically is how you live through this game. Okay, we got to head to the bridge here, which is right. Okay, they're growing back the bridge. And as you can see, we actually experience this early level stuff with other players, which is pretty cool. It's not like from the very beginning, you feel like this is an MMO. And that's exactly what you want. And don't worry about this. These are like my daily login rewards and stuff like that for my account. I don't think you'll have that, maybe, when you start your account. It's just from, like, stuff I've done previously.
Wait, something's happening. I feel... The pale tree has breathed her strength into me. She's made me tangible, but only for a few moments. Hurry, sapling. Be ready for anything.
And then, what's really awesome is that you instantly get a taste of boss combat. And we're going to be experiencing that pretty soon here. But yeah, we only have one ability unlocked so far. But you actually unlock them incredibly fast. Very, 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 very fast. But we're just going through the tutorial right now. Purposely very easy. The game, though, Guild Wars 2, probably one of the hardest MMOs that I've ever played for new players. However, once you get geared and slotted, it becomes a little bit face roll. But as leveling, it's a really awesome, like, campaign experience. Leveling experience. Absolutely. Probably the best in any MMO, I think. In my opinion. And here's the boss. Every race has their own unique challenges and bosses to fight. You know, just for the tutorial. It's just a little taste of what's to come. Because there are some truly massive encounters in Guild Wars 2. More massive than any game I've ever played. We do have a healing ability right here. Everyone's healing ability is different, and there's multiple healing abilities. One might make you go invisible. I'll see, I should have dodged that. As you can see, there's indicators on the ground. Kind of similar to WildStar, though I think WildStar does it better. Guild Wars 2 is working to improve it, though. Doing some damage here. Dodge back a little bit, don't know what he's doing. Now, if you're wondering, will this game run on your PC? As long as you have, like, a Intel i5, i7, it'll probably run well. It's an MMO, it requires a big CPU. But it is also a pretty game. So yeah, see, if we go into this indicator, we get damaged. I really like the indicators. So, doing some damage. Let's go heal. There we go. And we are still playing with other players. I just have the name tags off. Let me dodge out of this. Oh boy. Alright, we're about to finish this. As you can see, the damage indicators are right there. We're doing very little damage. And we only have our, like, one auto attack. But as soon as we get out of this tutorial, we're going to be learning our skills really, really quickly. And now I've awakened. And all this stuff, I'll explain this as soon as we get in here. This is pretty cool. Okay, so now we have officially awakened. We are here. Okay. And we got a reward. Cool. A nice little reward. And we leveled up, so we got some more rewards. Level 2 rewards. We got the hero panel unlocked, stat increase, and weapon skill 2 unlocked. Now we have 2 skills. Dude, we're going to get these so fast. You actually unlock skills per weapon. So let's see, if we press H for our hero. This is our hero panel. I need to explain this real quick, because this is basically the whole game. Guild Wars 2 is very cosmetic. Like, the whole point of the game is to get cosmetics. So, acquiring different dyes. As you can see the whole list of different colored dyes and crazy stuff. Like, you can test it out, and it gets pretty crazy. It's pretty ridiculous. Here are all the different skills, which are still somewhat hidden and unlocked, or not unlocked. And as you see, yeah, just idle chat is also voice acted, so that's pretty cool. The game is really pretty, though. Like, look how pretty this is. Let's just kind of give you that cinematic experience real quick. We'll just kind of move around a little bit. A very pretty game, I think. And this is just one area. If you like snow areas, volcano areas, technological areas, there's so many different places. It's pretty awesome. So let's press the map. Let's go look at the map. It's hidden. A lot of it is hidden because I haven't explored it yet as this character. But as you can see, there's just, it's a massive world. I need you to believe me, it's a massive world. Oh man, it's really fantastic. There's so many dungeons and different things to do in this world. Jumping puzzles. Yeah, dude, jumping puzzles are awesome. But anyways, back to the hero panel. Okay, so we need to unlock our abilities by just leveling up. Here's our builds, and we don't have this stuff unlocked. This is sort of like our talent trees. This also just got a revamp. We'll probably go into more depth in that with another video. Here's our story. This is actually like a single-player story. You can actually play co-op through with it, which is pretty good. You also have our living world story. So the game, the way this works, is that there's actually a episodic story that you can play. and get access to, as well as seasonal events and just overall living story events. And overall, this game is probably the single most evolutionary MMO I've ever played, because literally every single month, every single year, the game is changing and evolving and growing. So it's really freaking awesome. Anyways, let's turn off our hat, because I think it looked a little bit ridiculous. Our clothing is fine enough, I guess. I think I want this purple. Alright, we're good. Apply. Looking beautiful, man. Looking beautiful. But let's go check out our weapons. What can we unlock for our weapons? So, I think we go to Hero, Equipment, and we did just unlock a staff. So, okay. So, we can use our staff. And see? Now we have our staff abilities, which are totally different. A totally different experience now. Different auto attack, different 1 through 5, a totally different playstyle. And what's cool is that we're going to soon unlock weapon swapping. And so basically we have 10 abilities we can use at any time, and then we have our elite skills, our heal skills, and our 3 utility skills. And between this, plus also the customization with our specializations, yeah, you can start to see where the class customization comes in. This game is fucking fantastic when it comes to class customization and making builds. Okay, so we need to go and find our quest. So speak to the scout to reveal new renown hearts. And I'm going to explain the renown hearts. And yes, guys, this is going to be a longer video. This is going to be fun.
I'd like to talk to you.
Okay, so talk to me, friend.
Welcome to Astoria. As you journey forth into the unknown, know that you are not alone. Seek guidance from those who make their homes here, and help them in their time of need. The path ahead is yours to choose.
Okay, so instead of doing normal quest lines, basically they replaced it with an open world system. So you go to what I guess would normally be a quest giver, and as long as you're in the vicinity, then you get the quest. And everybody around you can kind of help you with this quest as well. There's also open world events where like giant monsters will spawn, you have to kill them, and sometimes, you know, a village can be raided and destroyed, and then you have to retake the village. And so there's kind of like episodic quests like that. These open world hearts are really a great way of leveling and great way of being social. So it's kind of giving us a direction. It's like, hey, you might want to go help this guy, but really you don't need to go in any order. You can just do whatever you want. It's just sort of giving a suggestion. So right here, we're in the vicinity. It activated, so kill termites. Okay, and this is really awesome. You can kind of choose what to do. I can either kill termites, I can uproot termite larvae, and you can do any combination of these. I can kill like 1 termite larva and then uproot a bunch of larvae or whatever. I can kill termites. So it's pretty cool. So we're using our wand here. Our wand, I think this staff wand, whatever, is a little bit more defensive. Oh, and here's one unique aspect to the Mesmer is I create clones. I create clones, and then I shatter clones. I can also make phantasms. So phantasms do damage, I believe, and clones they don't do damage. They're just, they're decoys, really. And so we'll soon unlock an ability it's called our class ability, and every class has a totally different ability. The Mesmer has like 4 different abilities, so you can choose how you shatter them. A shatter might do confusion, a shatter might just do raw damage, it might apply stealth, I don't know, stuff like that. Not stealth, but apply different debuffs or buffs. And then the warrior has just 1 giant attack that they can use. The elementalist, instead of weapon swapping, has elemental swapping, so they're a stance dancer, they switch elemental stances. Let's see. The Necromancer transforms. Like, all these different classes have very unique resources. Well, it's kind of hard to say resources, because it's not like mana, energy. It's not like that. Oh, yeah, so I need to dig these up. So get around to these larvas. You can also just talk to people. Let's see, I have a block ability. So I blocked and reflected that attack that he just gave against me. And as you can see, as I'm doing this quest, I'm sort of filling this bar up. And you can work with people to you know, do it faster, which is fun. And there's no mob tagging, you know? Like if you hit the mob, you'll get loot for the mob. You don't have to hit it first. So yeah, you don't worry about that, guys. No mob tagging. Yep, so these larvae are pretty face roll right here. This is the very first quests, but trust me, like as you get to your next stage in your next area, it's gonna get significantly harder, especially for the Mesmer. Mesmer is a pretty hard class to level, honestly. So we are attacking with the wands here, and I'm just moving around. It doesn't really make much difference. I just like to be very mobile. Makes the gameplay kind of dynamic for me. Later on, though, moving is gonna be vital because there's gonna be skill shots you need to avoid, giant AoE stuns, stuff like that. So let's see, we can go over here and kick the tree. There we go. And we can pick up fruit and stuff. And oh, there's a termite larva. We can also dig up this guy right here. Oh, it looks like that. Oh, the green Moa is doing something. That's weird. All right, so let's dig up this larva. There we go. We got points for digging it up, and then we're gonna get points for killing it. So what you want to do is you want to try to be as efficient as possible. So instead of just killing larvae, maybe you want to dig them up first, because then you also get, you know, completion points for that. And once you complete it, not only do you get, like, rewards, but you also get the chance to buy stuff from the merchant, because all these hearts are merchants, and you can go buy items that's probably really good. Sometimes it's really niche and just kind of cosmetic. Sometimes, though, it will help you with leveling. So there we go. We completed the heart. And we click over here, get the rewards, accept it. And what's cool is that your let's see, go to your bank or whatever, your wallet it works with all your characters. So that's why I have 16 gold and all that good stuff. So let's see, we got some tiny fangs and stuff, and we can sell that on the auction house pretty easily. And then we can go here. And yeah, see, do you have anything for sale? And you use karma. You get karma through doing quests, and you can buy stuff. So I can get a mace, which I can't use on this character. I can buy the emblem, though, which will help me with leveling up. I can also sell things. So we're just going to sell the junk, and we can just sell this stuff. I'm going to sell that, and let's see, I can probably wear this, so whatever. But it doesn't matter too much right now, so I'm just going to sell it, I guess. Anyway, so yeah, you can go to the hearts. And now, one thing that I want to point out is one easy way to level up, okay? You don't just do the hearts, guys, okay? Guild Wars 2 doesn't work like normal MMO. You actually get rewarded for questing. So right here, I discovered Rhyme's Garden. This is a point of interest. And here's one over here. It's undiscovered point of interest. So what the game wants me to do is actually walk over here and discover this. So while I'm doing that, I'll explain. As you go through this, there are a couple different points. We have waypoints, which you can teleport to at any time. You have hearts, points of interest, and then you also have skill challenges, which I believe they're called hero challenges now. And as you complete these, you get rewards for completing them. You get experience for completing them. But if you complete all the points, all the hearts, if you complete all of the things, there we go, see? 2 out of 10. Once you complete everything on this particular zone here, which are normally like square shaped, once you complete all of them, you actually get a chest and you get a pretty big reward, and it helps you level up. So you want to basically complete zone to zone to zone. You just want to do all of everything in the zone. And that's kind of how the game is really meant to be played. And it's really a lot of fun to do that too. Especially if you can get a group and you just do a zone a day, it's a tremendous amount of fun. Plus, exploring an MMO is really part of the fun. And while you're exploring, and because you are rewarded for exploring, it's really cool to come across these random events. And then you can level up quicker by doing those random events. Like, you know, giant monster spawns. This guy's name's Hardwood and you. Ha ha ha. So, this is the early level experience, guys. It is definitely... It's kind of arcade. It really is. But at the same time, it can be very immersive. It's very story-driven. That's with the open world, doing the open world story, as well as your personal story. So yeah, if we go back to our hero, we can go back to the story journal, and right here, okay, fight the nightmare, and then nightmare's poison has withdrawn from the dream. Mockery of death. So the episode will become playable at level 10. You actually do like these single-player campaigns, and you also level up through that. You get rewards, and you want to do them, guys. And they're a lot of fun. So let's see, we got to defeat undead, revive territory markers, rebuild fortifications, and spar with local wardens. So there's such a diverse way of playing the game. Like, you could potentially go through the game maybe not really fighting that much. Like, if you just want to explore, if you want to be a pacifist, you know, there's some potential for that, I guess. So yeah, let's go discover the waypoint, so if we die, we can respawn at it and teleport to it. So yeah, there's no mounts in this game, guys. At least not yet. No, seriously, I don't think they're ever going to put mounts in. Maybe, they might, but... at the moment, there's really no mounts. So here's the heart person. You can talk to them, and they kind of elucidate some things. Like, if it's unclear what to do with the hearts, you can kind of talk to them. And sometimes you need to get items from them. Like, maybe you'll need a shock lance so that you can shock cows into the pen and stuff like that.
We fight against nightmares here.
So we got to kill undead, revive territory. Let's see. So this... oh, he's sparring with the ranger. So I can go to the scout, maybe. Absolutely. And we can fight him. And it's cool because this guy can actually fight with me, and we can... let's see if it's going to work. There we go. And we can work together, and we both get completion for this. So there we go. Now, if you guys are really interested in the potential for this game, you know, end-game content, PvP, which a game's called Guild Wars, of course, it's got a huge emphasis on PvP. I'm definitely going to be doing videos on that. Before I end the video... I know this is just a really early game first impressions, but that's what I wanted to do. In normal first impressions, I want to go over real quick and talk about the differences between a free-to-play account and a buy-to-play account. So you see the game, this is the first impressions, but now let's talk about as a free-to-play player. Now, basically, essentially, I'm going to just... you want to go on the website to see all the restrictions, but it's nowhere near as convoluted as WildStar. Essentially, basically, though, is that as a free player, you are limited by bag slots. So these are these slots. I have all of these, and you see I'm missing one because you can buy one. You will only have 3. This is actually a pretty big hindrance for leveling, but I don't know, it's pretty easy to actually purchase bag slots. And also, remember guys, everything is purchasable with in-game money, even though there is gems. So I'll show you. I'll go to the trading post.
Yes.
So I have gold coins, and you can actually transfer gold coins into paid currency called gems. So let's see. We can purchase armors and stuff, or we go to the gem store, and I have 100 gems, so I can buy gems. I can redeem a code to get gems. Or I can, where is it? Services. You get different services. Let's see. Promotions, upgrades. Oh yeah, you can purchase the upgrades in-game too for some gems. But you can transfer you can buy gems, and you can transfer it with gold. So you can change your gold into gems or just purchase it. You also have Black Lion Chest where you have random chances to get really cool items, you know, just cosmetics, stuff like that. But yeah, man, basically the game is essentially about getting the coolest loot, as in cosmetics. Because it's really easy to get on par, like, there's no gear grind like in World of Warcraft. So it's all about, like, trying to unlock these really cool affected items, and the epitome of these are called legendary items. So if we actually go into, let's see, let's search for an item called Twilight. This is probably the coolest one in my opinion. So this is a legendary item. All legendary items also affect your footsteps, and as you can see, this one, it kind of like, look at this effect. All of your attacks also have that blade trail to it. Like, all your effects become like a new effect on it. And if you look into the sword, actually, you can kind of see like space and stuff. Especially when you walk, you can kind of see that. It's pretty freaking ridiculous. Yeah. Anyways, so you also have one called Sunrise, and it's not just great swords, like you have all the different kind of weapons. And we're also, I believe, getting legendary armors. So here's Sunrise, you can see sort of like a, yeah, well, a sunrise, sort of. Clouds, stuff like that. So there's this open world event happening right now, and we can join in and do this. And doing the open world event by a heart is also going to help you, give you completion for the heart. And yeah. Oh yeah, guys, instead of just straight up dying, you get downed first. Like Gears of War, you go into a down state, and then you can pick people up. And this makes PvP pretty frustrating. But back onto topic about the free-to-play restrictions. Essentially, it's like the free-to-play restrictions are there to stop botting. It's to stop cheaters, people making tons of accounts, and flooding the market, you know? So that way the market, the economy, all that is still good and usable, actually. And it's so that people can't just go and scream obscenities. You know, you have chat restrictions. You can't just whisper a million people, you know, to whisper for gold buying and stuff like that. That's basically what the restrictions are. There's no real restrictions in terms of gameplay. You can make a character, all the characters and all the classes, unless, you know, except for the expansion, because that doesn't count as the base game. But the whole game is free. Like, it actually went free to play. It's not just a trial or anything like that. And there's no pay-to-win mechanics. Now, Guild Wars 2, ever since the beginning, has always had this gem store. So you can buy cosmetics, you can buy items. There's no subscription fee, so it makes sense that it already had a store, but it was never ever pay to win, and it's not changing to be pay to win now. You have boosters to increase your experience, but you have nothing else that it's going to increase, like, your damage done or anything like that. There are RNG boosters that you can get that actually do increase damage, sort of, not damage. It's just like, it's part of the game, though. They're called runes and sigils, but apparently there are some limitations on the runes and sigils you can get. Just so apparently, I guess you can't just go and buy endgame items or, like, mess with the market or something. Basically, what I'm trying to say is that there are items that can improve your gameplay. Of course, like in any MMO, you can get better gear. Of course, obviously. But as a free-to-play person, I think there's limitations so that you can't just make a level 1 account and then somehow, like, do some cheating or whatever, scamming, and, you know, just, like, fuck with everything. That's basically it. The game is free. And you guys, you get to see the game for the very first impressions. This is the normal first impressions. And if you guys want to see more content, we've got some of that more content coming. Like, if you want to see all the different crazy combos and stuff that you could do with different abilities, all the different classes, I've got you covered, guys. So stay tuned for that. Guild Wars 2 is a fantastic, absolutely awesome AAA game that now went free to play. And is it worth buying the expansion? Yes. Yes, it is. Absolutely. The game is fantastic. You should support this game. Honestly, I know we love free-to-play games, but if there's ever a game to spend money on, guys, it's this game. This is one of the better games. And it's really fantastic that they made it free-to-play so that more people can experience it. So, yeah, thanks for watching, guys. It was just an early first impression, rant-style video, talking about the game. Hopefully you enjoyed the gameplay. Hopefully you enjoyed the commentary, and you understand now that Guild Wars 2 is going to be a great free-to-play title. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe to FreeMMOStation for more news on free MMOs like Guild Wars 2, and we'll see you again next time.